Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It's the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is cryptocurrency. What is good, guys? I wanted to shoot a quick video. I wanted to get this done before 1 o'clock. Got a appointment. I got a call to make at 1 o'clock, so I wanted to get this out really quick. Again, I'm probably going to title this video XRP Ripple News, and the topic of it is the definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. And I had 2-3 different directions that I wanted to go with this video, but I'm going to kind of tie it all together, and I'm going to start with Chris Larson because I think that there's a difference. Just remember that, though. The definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. And so that is an important thing to do and to have. But more importantly than that is the execution of said vision, the execution of the said vision. So what I want to do is I'm gonna show a clip of this video from To the Light Votes. This is Sam I Am. A lot of you in the community, I'm sure, are familiar with who Sam I Am is, and I'm just gonna show you this little excerpt, a little clip from a video that he did not too long ago. It was really something. It went on about some different stuff, but I wanted to show you this important part of it because it relates directly to the video that I'm going to be doing. So check out Sam I Am. His YouTube channel is To the Light Votes. I'm sure most of you are familiar with him. He does great deep dives into the to the XRP community, valuable guide to the community. And I'm just going to let you listen to this, and then I'll talk more about the definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. So check this out.
With Chris Larson, there's no date here, but in the title it says 2015-04. It's in that subdirectory. So I'm assuming this is April 2015 that he did this. Now this date is significant, and I'm going to explain why. In 2014, Ripple did their trials with the banks where they had the banks hold XRP and do a pilot of RippleNet. Now, you guys know, I've been in telecom. I was a consultant. I used to, get paid $200 an hour to go sit down with the major telecom companies and help them more efficiently run their business. We had a product that we sold them, and in one meeting with Sprint, they told me about a problem that they had, something our product currently wasn't doing, something that I wouldn't be able to get our R&D department to develop in time. So I put a proposal together. I took it to the customer, with a price and everything, sold them on the idea, then took that back, had one of our internal consulting teams develop the software. I oversaw that to make sure it all got done right and met the customer needs. And then I went back, implemented it at Sprint, helped them with some consulting, doing studies, and they made millions of dollars using it. And then took it to AT&T and sold it to AT&T for a lot of money. And they did studies and made millions of dollars using it. So I can tell you, having gone through this process, at this point, Ripple had just gotten through with some absolutely invaluable trials. They have been, like the 2012, I think, is when they really got started building RippleNet and coding software. And sure, they had some industry expertise and some knowledge and so forth, but there's nothing like really understanding your customer's business and that insight that you get from actually doing a trial and a proof of concept. I've been there on the other side of the table. You don't always know the answers, but you learn a lot. And it's so important. So this is 2015, shortly after that. And they had just wrapped up those trials using XRapid. They found out, hey, the banks don't want to hold XRP. They don't want the liability. So we got to go to the exchange model. So they completely revamped what they thought they knew about what their customers wanted with a new, much clearer understanding of what their customers want. And this is Chris Larson. He was the CEO of Ripple Labs, which is done now, and I think he's just a board member. But you're looking at somebody, the man who's going to be one of the world's first publicly acknowledged trillionaires. That's not even a word, but that should tell you the magnitude of the change that is on the way, that is underway right now. You know, there's the Rothschilds. They're trillionaires, but they prefer to keep their heads attached to their body. So I don't think that they publicize that fact, but I guarantee you they have trillions of dollars. They own the central banks. Chris Larson is going to be not the first billionaire, the first trillionaire. And that word will have to be added to the dictionary. So he did this interview right out of the trials, and he was the person in charge of the vision for Ripple.
And say, guys, there, you see that last phrase? He said he was the guy in charge of the vision for Ripple. Again, so the definition of vision is seeing it before the masses see it. Now I'm gonna point out, I'm gonna lay out some stuff, kind of somewhat of the history of Ripple, just to kind of give you an idea of what's really going on, and to kind of give you the history, but to let you know that this thing that is XRP, this thing that is the Ripple company and their product software, whether it be XVIA or XCurrent or XRapid, has been in place for a while, right? And it's important to understand some assets, some aspects of that. And I'm going to read you the history. Then I'm going to tell you the different aspects that you need in order to be a successful company with a successful product, and how you take that to the masses. So this is a little bit of the wiki, if you will, for Ripple and XRP. Ripple Labs Inc. is an American technology company which develops the Ripple payment protocol and exchange network, originally named OpenCoin and renamed Ripple Labs in 2015. The company, Ripple Labs, was founded in 2012 and is based in San Francisco. So here's the history, just to give you an idea. And I think they actually left out names, but here's the thing. It says Ryan Fugger conceived Ripple in 2004. And if go over here to the top right, it says that next to Ryan Fugger, it says concept originator. Concept originator was Ryan Fugger. Conceived Ripple in 2004 after working on a local exchange trading system in Vancouver. The intent was to create, let me see if I can highlight this. The intent was to create a monetary system that was decentralized and could effectively empower individuals and communities to create their own money. You know, I did a video a month or so ago, and I talked about, I think the title of it was XRP, was they really helping the banks? And so just think about that in that statement that I just read. Fugger later built the first iteration of this system, RipplePay.com. Concurrently, at the same time, in May of 2011, Jed McCaleb began developing a digital currency system in which transactions were verified by consensus among members of the network rather than by the mining process used by Bitcoin. So the history of XRP and Ripple was that it was spun off of the concept that Bitcoin started 2008, 2009. A different concept rather than the mining process used by Bitcoin. In August of 2012, Jed McCaleb and hired Chris Larson, right? Jed McCaleb hired Chris Larson. So, right, so there's always those phases in an idea, right? So there's this concept originated, that's Ryan Fugger. There's somebody who can implement and create the project, right? Jed McCaleb, right? Who can put it together. Okay, here's this idea on paper. Now let's go put it together and create this product. That's Jed McCaleb. Now Jed McCaleb hired Chris Larson. He hired Chris Larson. Why did he do that? And that was to be able to bring about the vision for XRP and Ripple. You need a guy who can take that vision and relay that vision and articulate that vision to its employees, to potential customers, et cetera, et cetera. So Jed McCaleb hired Chris Larson, and they approached Ryan Fugger with their digital currency idea. After discussions with McCaleb and long-standing members of the Ripple community figure-handed over the reins. In other words, what he did was he said, you guys, I'm going to hand it over to you guys to continue building this project or this concept that I create, and to take the vision and get that vision out there, right? In September 2012, Chris Larson and Jed McCaleb co-founded the corporation OpenCoin. This just kind of tells a little bit about that. That's the original name of it before it became Ripple. OpenCoin began development of the Ripple protocol and the Ripple payment and exchange network. And this just says here about they did some, it's a company that did some angel rounds to get investment money in. So in 2013, an angel round of funding was from venture capital firms, right? You got to get that. It's very, very important. What else do I want to read that's important? This is interesting. In July 2013, Jed McCaleb was separated from active employment with Ripple. And a lot of people kind of speculate on what that is. But in my humble opinion, this was about the process of Ripple Labs, that was the beginning process of Ripple Labs separating itself from XRP, right? Because the whole thing about that securities issues, this was the process. So Jed McCaleb obviously would be the first one, right, to step away. And you're going to eventually find out how Chris Larson, he eventually steps away and just kind of becomes a board member of the company. Again, these are steps in separating themselves so that they know that there's a company and there's this XRP technology or this cryptocurrency that are separate entities. So on September 26th of 2013, OpenCoin essentially changed its name to Ripple Labs. Their CTO, which is the Chief Technical Officer, Stefan Thomas, further announced that the source code for the peer-to-peer node behind the Ripple payment network was officially open source so that anyone can use it, look at it, and check it out. Okay, then this kind of goes over some of the histories of some of their funding. 2015, they got $700,000, or that was about a fine or something, because some fintech people said that they needed to file a license for them. So what else? On October 6th of 2015, the company was rebranded from Ripple Labs to Ripple. That's just kind of some history stuff. In 2016, Ripple obtained a virtual currency license from BitLicense. Okay, all of that stuff is okay. So in 2017, American Express and Ripple partnered to create a blockchain payment infrastructure. American Express, guys, hugely important. So this is just kind of giving you an idea of kind of that process. And I think the most important thing, and I'm trying to find this, I think that's in the next article, is that process from 2004 to today in 2018. So I'm going to read you some of the interview that Sam I Am was using in his videos, and it's some really important stuff here. So here's the guy that believed to become the first trillionaire. There's actually a Forbes article that kind of spoke to that as well, because Chris Larson became the first crypto person, the first person in cryptocurrency to get $1 billion evaluation, right? In other words, to be worth over $1 billion. And I think it was like $8 billion. But the first person to do that in the crypto space was, in fact, Chris Larson. So Chris Larson is the CEO and co-founder of Ripple Labs, creators of Ripple. What Sam I Am didn't mention in this interview is who he's being interviewed by. He's being interviewed by Chris Skinner. And Chris Skinner, in case you don't know, is a very well sought out guy in the banking and financial space, almost like the granddaddy or grandfather, if you will. Chris Skinner is best known as an independent commentator on the financial markets through his blog, thefinancer.com, as author of best-selling books, Digital Bank, and chair of the European Network Forum, the Financial Services Club. He has been voted one of the most influential people in banking by the Financial Brand, as well as one of the best blogs, a fintech titan, one of the fintech leaders you need to follow. Wow, as well as one of the top 40 most influential people in financial technology by the Wall Street Journal. So this is the guy that's interviewing Chris Larson, right? So it's very, very important to know that. It says here, I'm going to read a little bit of this history for Chris Larson. Mr. Larson also co-founded and served as CEO of Prosper, a peer-to-peer lending marketplace, and Elon, a publicly traded online lender, right? A lot of people have not heard of Ripple. Can you give us some background? He says, sure, we've all experienced the inefficiencies of payments. I can physically travel to Europe faster than my payment settles from the US to Europe using a wire service. That's true. The delays and costs inherited today's infrastructure restrict the expansion of businesses, international trade, that's a big one, economic growth, and ultimately financial inclusion, which is the end goal, guys, for XRP. Think of the Internet revolution by providing common, neutral global infrastructure for free and instant information exchange. The internet open access to and dramatically increased participation in global knowledge and information sharing. It spawned entire new, previously unimaginable industries. Services like eBay, Twitter, and Uber have changed the world, but wouldn't have been possible without the internet. The same concept applies to payments. Payment systems were created before the internet existed, built country by country as closed loops. Payments need common, neutral, global infrastructure for free and instant exchange. It's the dawn of the Internet of Value. And if you guys have listened to the Digital Asset Investor, he's always talking about the Internet of Value. Ripple is decentralized payments technology that enables free and instant payments in any currency. And that's the thing that's key. Like a lot of people don't understand, it's not just about cryptocurrencies. It's not just about fiat dollars. It's any currency. It's infrastructure that sews together and modernizes today's payments systems so money can move on the web just like information does today. It says here, but then some people might struggle with this, as in, why do I need Ripple when we've got Bitcoin? Ripple was born out of Bitcoin's incredible, this is Chris Larson answering that. This is in 2015, just like Sam I am mentioned, which I thought was interesting. Ripple was born out of Bitcoin's incredible revolution. Bitcoin solved the double spend problem, creating for the first time in history a digital asset and a decentralized ledger with no central operator. This breakthrough means people can send a new currency to anyone else in the minutes at no cost instead of days and high expenses to today's traditional system. But Bitcoin is only as efficient as a payment system if everyone in the world adopts Bitcoin as the one and only currency. And in that scenario, Bitcoin replaces today's system from ACS to SWIFT. By design, Ripple is optimized to serve as improved IP-based infrastructure for today's payment system amongst distributed payment technology. Ripple uniquely works with any currency, dollars, euros, yen, etc., and it settles transactions, including cross-payment transactions, in 5 seconds. So whereas Bitcoin depends on consumers and merchants adopting the currency and exclusively using the blockchain for payments, Ripple is meant for the financial institutions to integrate into their core systems to dramatically increase the speed and lower cost of payments. Financial institutions networks using Ripple never have to touch digital currency. And that's what Sam I.M. was alluding to in that video, is that they didn't want to have to deal with the cryptocurrency. They just wanted a faster and better way to move money and so that they could create liquidity. They continue to deal in the fiat currencies they deal in today. So that's a very, very important thing to kind of get. So if I summarize, and this is this very, very smart and well sought out guy, Chris Skinner, there is the Bitcoin blockchain technology. This technology is fantastic, but it also allows a bit of a Wild West to exist as it's out there and open source. The community use it as money without government, which is not what the government wants. So you have to make the technology appropriate for more corporations and banks to use in a structured way. Bitcoin was designed with the different objectives of Ripple. For Bitcoin, the goal was to create a decentralized currency and ledger, independent from government and central operators. For Ripple, the goal was to create a decentralized ledger. Everybody could look at these transactions and see these transactions amongst the banks in the government system, right? You get that? A decentralized ledger that could work with and improve the foundation of today's payment system. Very, very important, because we all know the missteps that the banks and that closed loop system that I read to you earlier has caused, the problems that it's caused. They're open to the benefits of lowering costs and risk entered in the system to end-to-end transaction transparency and the possibility of exponential growth in volume, which is the world's challenge right now. The world's challenge is there are masses of their currency just being held in these no-share and vote-share accounts that they can't do anything about it. And that is causing a world global economic issue. That and Ripple and the distributed ledger technology is solving that. Ripple is a settlement technology that plugs into banks and existing core system, including compliance, messaging, and other systems. For example, Earthport is fusing Ripple with this robust compliance framework that is known for to offer their bank clients a trusted, secure, real-time payments option. Lastly, because payments on Ripple settle instantly and point-to-point, banks, regulators, and law enforcement have complete visibility into transactions. So in other words, worlds, countries, Russia, China, Japan, Asia, the Middle East can see what's going on. Transparency, which reduces costs for everyone involved. It says, yes, I have seen a few references to some of the folks that you're working with, such as new companies like Fedora Bank in Germany and Earthport. Equally, you're working with some of the big guys, the banks, you know, the ones you love to hate. Banks you know and love to hate. How is this progressing? We've had a great response from that market, absolutely 100%, from communities on regional banks to global banks. That's why you heard about all the different things that and partners and relationships that are going on behind the scenes with Ripple. The value proposition is clear to them. This is in 2015. The value proposition is clear to them. Enable real-time payments, lower the cost of liquidity, and compliance. Sibos last year was a turning point for Ripple, where the common question we heard was, how do we get started? Exactly. We've announced integrations with Fedora Bank in Germany, CW Bank in Kansas, Cross River Bank in New Jersey. This is in 2015, guy. The banks today are massive and Earthport. We're working on dozens more integrations to the scenes, behind the scenes, and private pilots. And private pilots is, again, this is what Sam I Am was talking about in that video. That they're doing these pilot programs. They've been doing it for years to see what is the best way to continue forward and move this project, because in the end, what we want is we want a distributed ledger that is open source, that any country and any person, any financial institute can look into so that we can see what's really going on. In this article, they're going to talk about something else that is very, very important about the 5 banks and how the 5 banks are not happy with it. It's the top 5 banks because because now they're going to be an open book and they're not happy with that. So it's a pivotal time for our company. We have exciting opportunities in the pipelines, and we're focused on executing them. We just brought on, this is, I think, is hugely important. We just brought on Brad Garlinghouse. This is 2015 again, guys. We brought on Brad Garlinghouse as our COO, previously of Yahoo, AOL, and Hightail, to dig our heels in and focus on delivering to the market. Here comes Brad Garlinghouse, right? It's not just enough to have the vision. It's not just enough to have the concept creator, the Ryan Kruger. It's not just enough to be able to get the vision and share it the way that Chris Larson did. You got to bring in a guy who's willing to put, the feet to the ground, get in the airplanes, make the flights, right? Right? And get out there and bring it to the market. And that guy is Brad Garlinghouse, right? And that guy is Brad Garlinghouse. So what else did I want to read here about this? So again, it's the thing that's most important for you guys that I wanted to share with you. Just understand that we're not just getting started. This has been something that's been in the works since 2004. I wanted you to kind of check the evolution of how things take place. My next video, I'm going to do something about all great things and all great people go through 3 phases. First, it'll be ridiculed, then it'll be violently opposed, then it'll be opposed, and then it will become self-evident. So guys, listen, I just wanted to share this video with you guys really, really quick, and just kind of let you know that this has been in the works for a while. And as a retail investor like myself, if you guys are retail investors, understand That is, this has been an evolution, and it has been played out, pulled off in just about perfection. From Ryan Fuger to Jeb McCaleb, from Jeb McCaleb to Chris Larson, from Chris Larson to Brad Garlinghouse, it has been genius in motion. So guys, never forget this. Old money doesn't want you to win. Old money wants you to remain a cog in their wheel, right? So that you can continue to trade your time for dollars, fiat dollars, right? They don't want you to play in the same space as they do, where they allow their money to work for them. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in history of man. Are you participating, guys? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Are you participating, guys? Or are you standing on the sidelines? The definition of vision is seeing it, guys, before the masses see it. Here's what I do know for you. The battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.